Yeah, I'm still drinking it, but I probably won't finish it.
Anything else? Don't do that.
No, I got nothing else. Let's
Okay.
skip this show on the road because we're also putting this on YouTube, so it has to be shorter.
We'll just jump right in. I don't know why I did that.
What did you do?
I snapped and put my finger up. Of Danny Clayton. She accepts a job to go be a nanny at a manor, Bly Manor, and then of course while she's there, spooky things happen. There you go. Alright, so spoiler free. Try to give it spoiler free. What do you think?
Like my thoughts of the whole show?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Do you want me to go first so you could have like an idea? Because I wrote down.
No, I know how to talk. Thank you,
though. Doesn't know how to talk.
Oh.
She thought Florida was in Texas yesterday.
Okay, listen, let me give some backstory because I am not good at like history / geography at all. Like I never paid attention in high school ever. Like I just learned things to take the test and then that's it. Now, mind you, I have a picture of the United States in my head, and yesterday, yes, I will admit, for a second I was like, wait, because in my head I just always think like everything's in Texas sometimes. That's just how I am.
So, when we got off the plane in Hawaii,
yeah,
did you think we were in Texas?
No, that's different. Because I know in my head it's at the bottom. Go ahead.
Well, we were getting to your spoiler-free thoughts on...
So okay, we'll do how much? Like 5 minutes?
Well, just say what you want to say, and then I'll say what I want to say. I won't put a time limit on it.
So, spoiler-free, for those who haven't seen it, first of all, I think you should see it. When I gave it a rating, I told Julio 5 out of 10.
Oof.
Yeah.
Way to spoil the rating. Gotta save it till the end, baby.
That's not a spoiler.
Keep them coming.
So, I gave it a 5 out of 10. But now that I think about it, I'll give it a 6 because I would recommend you watch it just so you can tell me, personally, yes, it's selfish, but so you could tell me what you thought of both of them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because then now we've seen both of them and now we know, like...
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's going to get compared to that one.
Yeah.
That's, like, the obvious comparison.
Yeah, so I will give it a 6, and I would recommend it just so you could kind of know, like, and just watch it. Like, it's still fun to watch it, you know? Like, it wasn't like, oh, it's so bad. It's just, I didn't like the ending, personally. But, to begin, I really like the storyline, how it begins. Like, it's really, actually really good, I think. The only thing for me was that they do talk a lot. You know?
Yeah.
That really bothered me. Like, they have, like, intimate scenes, which I don't care about intimate scenes, but they would literally talk for, like, 15-20 minutes. Dude.
Yeah, they would. A lot. And, like, that was probably... And this that, like, ruined it for me, but there was a lot where it was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, it was, like it wasn't... And it wasn't even that, like, narrative that was, like, interesting.
Yeah, it was, like...
Did you need that?
I have complaints about that.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep on going, or do you want me to, like, jump in and add them?
Yeah.
So, like, with when she's talking, like, no spoilers, for a long time, she's giving backstory to herself. It's a character giving her backstory. And it comes after these, like, 2 episodes where we get really cool backstory told in a super cool way with, like, the whole, like, tucked away thing. Sorry, I meant to just go like that. Yeah, so you get, like, this really cool backstory told in a super interesting way. And then this character, who slowly becomes, like, a main character, just gets this, like... What? The gardener. I don't want to give it away. She goes on for, like, 15 minutes telling about her backstory after you just got these really cool backstories of side characters told in a different way. And it's just, like, you're sitting there and you're like...
Honestly, we were just like, whoa, we don't even care about this.
Yeah, I forgot what part I was like, I just kind of want to fast forward this.
No, we were literally all 3 of us and we hadn't been on our phones because we wanted to be, like, scared and watch it. And then at that point, we were just, like, on our phones, like, just waiting for time to pass. It was boring, like, honestly. And they have a few scenes like that after, like, the first 3 episodes, like, bunch of talking, and that's what kind of just, like, I was like, okay, I could have definitely done without this.
And not, like, interesting dialogue.
Yeah.
It's just, like, someone literally telling you a story.
Yeah, and you're not interested at all.
Yeah, and it just drags on.
So, yeah, that was what kind of, I didn't enjoy, but, like I said, just because it wasn't interesting. Like, had it been interesting, different story, you know? So, yeah, that I didn't like. I really liked the beginning, like I said, and then once it got to the middle and towards the end, once they start like telling you why this is happening, it kind of like lost like
Slowed down a
the
lot.
magic for me.
Yeah, and I kind of want to talk about that in the spoilers of
Yeah.
when that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely go into it when we do the spoilers, but yeah, so that I will say there was a few like two scenes that scared the shit out of me. Like things that haunt me. Like I
Haunt
talked
you?
about it in like a previous well, I think when we were telling our ghost stories, like three things that like scare me, like that haunted me for life. And
Oh, I remember. I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
I
and
forgot.
that,
I was like, what part are you
that
talking
was
about?
one of them. We'll say it right now in the spoilers, but that was so scary. So that's why I was so interested. I was like, damn, like this is actually scary, you know, like because in the first one, the Haunting of Hill House, it was scary to me, but
I think there was a lot more scarier parts in
yeah,
Hill House.
but I think nothing that I was like, oh my god, like ew, you know. It was just like more like pop ups or whatever. So yeah, I will say that. And then yeah, I didn't really love the ending, and that's pretty much all I want to say for no spoilers.
So for me, like the biggest thing is it goes back and forth on like there's really great things and then there's like things that I'm like why like this was lame.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is like I said, when they tell certain characters backstories, it's like so cool. Without getting into spoilers, yeah, like there's two like four characters that you get their backstories told in a super interesting way, and I love it. And then like characters who are supposed to be the main or like end up being main characters, it's just like that was so lame. Why'd you do that? But yeah, that's and then the music. I thought it was super lazy that they literally just reused the soundtrack. Like the two like best songs were the songs that were in Haunting of Hill House. That were like really cool, and that just kind of annoyed me.
I don't really care for that. I didn't even notice it was the same music except for Jacob pointing it out every 5 minutes and thinking it had a meaning.
Yep, and then so since I'm doing bad, I'll just do it. There's a black and white episode. Hated. Could have done like 2-minute episode on that. Like
that was cut so long.
Cut that down like
oh my god,
to 10 minutes. Yeah, and also I didn't really like the ending that much either. The ending did not work for me. Also, like, okay, well, I'll go into the good. The acting, specifically by the children,
oh my god,
was awesome. Like
the little boy.
Yeah, the little boy, the actor that plays the little boy. I should have known his wrote down his name because he did it so good. Like
he was really
crushed it. And most of the acting is like pretty.
Honestly, it was all good. I just didn't love the gardener. She kind of annoyed me for some reason. And then there's certain points where Danny annoys me. I don't know why. I just like the faces she makes. But everybody else I really liked.
There's also like really cool relationships between certain characters. I'll go more into that in the spoilers, but there was some like I was like rooting for them, and they weren't even main characters.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, the way the story is told is super like convoluted, but it works.
What does that mean?
Like complicated. We've gone through this before in other podcasts.
God, I'm sorry, I'm dumb.
Geography, history, and English. We gotta add that one now.
Should we bring up how in high school
Arkansas?
I passed, what was it? College dual credit level English, and Jacob failed.
No, AP English.
No, I never took AP English.
But you did. Didn't you have Miss Baggett?
I never took AP. It was dual credit.
Anyways.
Yeah, huh? Yeah. You don't want to talk about it now, do you?
The way the story is told is like really unique and interesting. So overall, I would feel like I would also give it a 6 out of 10. And like it's not bad. Like yeah, I would recommend it. I would recommend it. I wouldn't watch it again though.
Yeah.
But it like fits the vibe right now. It's really strong up to a certain point, in my opinion. And then I don't know. Like I guess like the thing is like it didn't meet the expectations to the first one. That's what I would say.
The first half did. Like
I still don't think so. Like by the first episode, I was like, this isn't gonna be Hill House. The first episode of Haunting of Hill House is amazing.
Jacob's also like a really big critic, like huge. Like I think he thinks he's a movie critic, Loki.
Well, I watch a lot of movies, so I mean, like I don't know, and TV shows, but Yeah, just like, but and even my sister said she was like, yeah, like we watched the first episode. She was like, yep, Haunting of Hill House was better in the first
I
episode.
don't even remember the first episode anymore.
It's really good. So yeah, I guess that concludes the spoiler-free section of the review. Yeah. So now, spoilers. What would you like to open up the spoilers discussions?
Okay, so I have a lot to say about the spoilers. So in the first, like, what are we at? Okay. So in the first few episodes, so it's basically like this girl. She's from America, and she's been in London for like.
If they're listening to the spoilers, they've already seen it, so you don't have to recap it. You can just say her name.
I'm talking. Is that okay? I'm talking to my friends.
Oh, okay.
So, Danny. Sorry. She's like a nanny or whatever. She's gonna be a
nanny.
A nanny / like a teacher. What do they call it? An au pair. She's a nanny / like a teacher because they're not in school.
Is that what that word means?
I guess.
They said it a lot.
Yeah.
Au pair. The au pair.
So, she's like, she interviews for this job, and then he's kind of like, he's like suspicious. He's the uncle of the kids because the parents died, and then he's like, oh well, what qualifies you like to do this, or like, why are you here? Like, it's weird that you're just here from America randomly. And she's like, well, it's weird that nobody has lasted like at your house taking care of these kids. And then you're like, oh shit, she doesn't want this job, does she? And then they meet later at a bar, and then like, I guess they get real with each other, and he ends up giving her the job. But he never goes to the house. So, like, there was a point in the middle that my mom's like, I think they're all dead. Like, because why does he never go to the house? And I was like, you got it. I was like, that's it. They're all dead. Like, it's... But then I was like, it doesn't really make sense, though, because why does she get sent there? Like, you know, like, is it some kind of hell? Like, that's what I started thinking. Anyways... What else? I said I had a lot to say, and then I can't even think of anything. Oh, okay, so yeah.
Well, what did you think of the ending?
Well, I kind of want to go like in order.
Oh, okay.
So, okay.
Okay.
I don't know what episode it is, like... Oh, okay, and then, like, the kids start being, like... When they go and greet her so friendly, I was like, okay, like, something's wrong with them. Like, because to me, kids are usually, like, super outgoing, but, like, they're still shy with you, like, you know, most of the time.
Well, actually, though, I think they were genuine when they were, like, saying hi to her. They were genuine.
Yeah,
that was
true.
them.
But to me, I just thought it was weird, because, like, usually I think of kids and I think, like, oh, they're shy. Like, that's just me, I don't know. And they were so comfortable with her, like, in the first minute that they met her, so I was kind of like, like, I don't know, that's weird to me. So at first, I was thinking, like, the kids were, like, evil, like, just on their own or something, you know? Like, I never thought...
I think you were, like, meant to feel that way for sure.
So then they start getting into, like, all the characters and whatever, and then that's when they push her in the closet, like, the first or second episode. And I was like, what the hell? Like, so they're just, like... And then I started thinking, like, okay, they killed, like, the nanny before her. Did you ever think that?
Mm-mm.
I started thinking that. And then, well, it turns out that they didn't, whatever. And then they play, like, hide and seek. I think, like, the second or third episode. Oh my god. I was like, first of all, I was like, why would you play hide and seek? I would absolutely never play hide and seek, like, in a big ass house like that. And then,
what are you talking? Are you for real? As a kid?
700% bro. As a nanny.
Oh.
Like, she's like, yeah, let's go play hide and seek in the dark. Let's not turn on any lights. Like, the lights don't work in there or something. Like, oh my god. It's just like one of those where you're like, turn on the lights, you know? Like, screaming at them not to do what they're doing. And then... Now I realize that, freaking, what's her name? The little girl. Who's the little
Flora.
Girl? Flora was in the attic when Danny was listening to the music box.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought at first they were in the same room, but now, like, I realize, so anyways, Flora's in the attic, and then you just hear this thing, like, start singing. Oh my god, like, I literally want to cry. It was so scary to me. Like,
I really didn't think it was that scary.
Dude, I was terrified. Oh my god. Like, so you just hear, like, the music box is going while they're playing hide and seek, and then, like, you just hear this thing, like, it can't talk, and it's just like, and I was like, oh my god, like, absolutely not. And I didn't want to look, and then I looked up at the wrong time, and it's just like this, like, stuffed person, like, crawling in the back. Oh my god, I could not deal with that. That was so terrifying. You really didn't think that was scary?
Nah, I thought
Oh my god.
actually like this one didn't really scare me that much. Like there was like very little that
That's
scared
true. You
me.
didn't really jump or anything. Or cover your ears.
Yeah. Yeah, I always cover my ears. That's like my go-to. I could whatever they show me, it's fine. It's for whatever reason the sound bothers me way more.
Yeah, I'd rather not see it than hear it, but because I'm a visual person and you're an auditory person, so I think that makes a lot of sense actually.
Really?
Yeah, that you don't
True.
want to hear it. So, anyways, yeah, like so I see this freaking. First of all, you just see it in the background start to crawl out, and they didn't see it at first, so I was like, ah! And then Jacob's sister and Jacob are like, what? And I'm like, dude, are you serious? In the freaking background,
I was too busy looking at whatever the heck she was singing at.
Yeah, in the background it starts crawling, so you don't even see it because it's blurred because it's just focused on Flora, and then you like it. Oh my god, that literally terrified me. That terrified me. And then the thought of like the lady coming out of the lake. Oh my god, that was scary too. You know what I didn't think was scary though? Her like ex when he would show up. Like I honestly wasn't really scared of him.
Peter?
Yeah. No, her ex. The one.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think he was scary. Like he pops up in like the mirrors and it just didn't scare me, like really. And then I even called it. I was like, dude, I bet you he gets hit by a car. 'Cause I don't know why I thought like in my head like why is there lights in his glasses, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then we also thought for a second that he like maybe like
abused her.
Yeah, that's why she was seeing him. Like I think there was just like so much going on that's why like it excited me at first.
Mm-hmm.
But then when things start unraveling, like the story of why she's in the lake, and then like his story, like I was just like, okay, like it's explained.
Well, what did you think about her backstory? Did you like it? Did you feel? Yeah.
I did feel bad for her, honestly.
Well, yeah. I mean, like they make you feel bad for everybody, but did you like it? Like, was it? Like, did you enjoy hearing about it? Could you care less about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important because I wanted to know why she was there also.
Because, like, for me, like, I don't hate Danny's story, but it's one of my, like, probably, like, second, like, least favorite. Oh, maybe, like, third least favorite above, like, the uncle and the gardener.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just curious because, like, that is one of the early things, and it is, like, the earliest thing to probably get told to you what happened.
I mean, I think they just kind of have to tell you that, though.
No,
like,
yeah,
what else would you have liked?
No, I'm just saying, like, compared to the other stuff that happened, like, there's side characters who I think have way better, like, stories behind them that I wish, like, man, they would have, like, Hannah and Owen, I love everything with them, and yeah, like, Danny wasn't my favorite character, like, not even close.
So, but what do you think, like, they could have done better with her backstory? Like, what would have made you like it?
I just think, like, you don't spend time with the boyfriend, really. You get, like, what, half an episode with him alive?
He's not really even important, though.
Yeah, I know. So, like, when he dies, it's kind of like, dang, that sucks. And, like, you find out, so, like, they, like...
I think it's more so to make you feel bad for her, though.
I know, and, like, with Danny, like, they build her up for, like, 2 episodes, and then you find that out, and then it's like, she's just whatever for the rest of the show until the end. So you kind of just forget about her. So by the time, like, the final episode comes around, it's kind of like, oh, yeah, Danny. Like,
that's true.
She's still here. I don't know. Maybe other people don't feel that way. But yeah. What about the uncle? What'd you think about the uncle?
Actually, I like the whole thing of his alter ego, but I thought if they were gonna incorporate that, like, it should have been more. And it was just kind of like, oh, he has an alter ego and it's evil, and that's it, you know. And then all of a sudden he shows up at the end. Like, I felt like there could have been more. Like, if it was that they all died and then, like, let's say, like, he killed them or, like, something like that, you know, like, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, I think my biggest, like, not my biggest problem, but something I've, like, realized is, like, when you have, like, episodes where it's, like, each episode you learn about somebody, but, like, you literally don't care about these people until their episode comes up.
Yeah.
And so when his episode is, like, what, the second to last episode...
And
it's like the entire time. Yeah, the entire time he was in there, I didn't care about him. Yeah. And then you want me to care about him in, like, one episode, which is, like, cool. If I rewatch it, then I can go back and be like, oh, man, like, he's really...
But they also show him as, like, this POS. Like, he's just, like, drunk.
Well, like, obviously, you know, there's going to be, like, a sad backstory. Yeah,
but what I'm saying is that he... Like, they don't even hype him up. Like, they just show him as, like, this jerk that doesn't go visit.
Yeah, this entire time. So you, like, you have no feelings for him.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that was, like... whatever to us.
But let me tell you about my favorite part of the show.
Oh, okay.
Hannah and Owen.
Really?
Yes, I love them. Which is like I guess the housekeeper and the cook.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about
They've
them.
watched it. They've
They were my favorite. They were my favorite part of the show, hands down. I loved every single part of them. Her backstory, like if you think about everybody else with their monologues, I'm putting my pen down because it's serious. If you think about the gardener's monologue, it like, and they give her this whole monologue to tell her backstory. And with Hannah, you get like 2 sentences of her backstory, and then with
it's like mysterious.
yeah, and Owen, it's literally like you just hear about his mom throughout the episode, and that's it. You know,
when the gardener was giving her monologue, I literally stopped listening.
yeah,
I don't remember what she said.
Whereas like with Owen and Hannah, it's like it's really awesome, and
yeah.
you don't get too much, but you see like the backstory of the show through the whole like being tucked away in memories, and like you go back and you learn things, kind of like Tarantino style, where it's like you go back a little bit and learn more, and then you go back a little bit and learn more.
And Jacob had called it. He was like, "I bet you she's dead," and I was like, "Why would she?"
Yeah, like the first episode.
It was like she wasn't eating or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she didn't.
And I was like, maybe she's just not hungry, and Jacob's like, "No, she's dead."
Yeah, and like how we were saying, like they literally built them throughout the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
Like you learn a little about them, you learn a little bit more, and you learn a little more, and then like you have their episode, and it's like, oh man, like that hurts, bro. Like
it hurt me when like you find out like she is dead.
Yeah,
honestly hurt.
And then when he finds out that she already died, like the favorite part of the show, hands down. I love them.
Them and the kids, honestly, I really liked the kids.
I also like it would be like them, and then the kids and the whole Peter and Rebecca story. And that one also is told like very interesting with the whole being tucked in the memories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just think of the stupid gardener where it's like she goes on for 15 minutes.
And she's so important. Like I think they should have made somebody else like the main person, you know? Because like this whole time you're kind of trying to figure out who the narrator is.
Well, I figured it out.
Yeah, Jacob was like, "It's the gardener." I was like, "Dude, no, there's no way." But it ends up being the gardener. I thought it would have been like Danny, but like how at the end, how like what's her name, Viola, takes over her body. I was like, maybe it's like Danny telling the story, but it's like Viola. You know what I mean? Like Danny's body, but Viola telling the story. And then, so let's get into the ending, no?
Yeah.
So that's what.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Before we get into the ending, can I just bash on the black and white episode for a little bit? Yeah. So long, dude. Like, what the hell?
She slept.
She woke, she walked, and it's just over and over.
They
and like,
literally said it like 50 times.
And like you know what the flashback's gonna be like 5 minutes into the flashback. You're like, oh, she's gonna die. Her husband's gonna date her sister. She's gonna get mad at her sister. She's gonna kill the husband.
And now she's haunting. It could have been like a 5-minute thing and it turned into like a whole episode.
And especially it comes right after like the super interesting part where like Danny gets grabbed by the lady in the lake, and like you're like, oh, like everything they're trying to escape, and Peter's going crazy, and like the climax, and then it like cuts to that stupid episode.
And I didn't like, honestly, maybe it was me. Maybe you can explain to me, but I didn't even get that like she cursed the house. Like I didn't get that. Did you get that?
Yeah. Well, so like the thing is that she was so like her will to stay and not die was so strong that she didn't move on. Yeah, and then that like eventually nobody could. Like that's how strong it was.
So and then that's my issue with it. So like she takes over Danny's body, right? And then
are we talking about the ending now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So she takes over Danny's body. Well, that's what I didn't like. That okay. So she supposedly like she does curse the show. I mean the house, and that's why like nobody could leave and whatever. And then okay, that thing too about the doctor. Like, he's so scary, like, when he's moving in the background with the thing. When he's moving in the background and stuff, so I thought there was going to be something about him, and then they just, like, throw in there, like, oh, yeah, he just died because she killed him. Like, I was like,
again,
that's
it
so
seems
lame.
like lazy from, like, Haunting of Hill House. So, like, oh, they had background ghosts. But in, like, Haunting of Hill House, these background ghosts had, like, super... They didn't just show it to you. Like, it was, like, fleshed out stories, kind of the people who were there that they were seeing.
So, I don't know. I feel like maybe, like, in the second half, they had to rush or something. Because there was a lot that I was just like, why? Or like, you know, like, and not that I didn't love or like enjoy it, just more that I was like, I could have done without this.
Yeah, definitely I did not like the ending. And that last episode I also felt like went on too long. Like, at least for me, I knew how it was going to end. where I was like, oh, she's gonna get possessed, and then she's gonna have to leave her, and sure enough, that happens. But they spend like an hour telling it to you, and I don't know.
And like I'm telling you, like maybe they just were like, oh, we don't really know how to go on, so we'll make the parts that we already have super long.
I'll say this, and this sounds like such a other YouTube show reviewer thing. Could have been 8 episodes or like 2 episodes less.
That's what I said that I thought I said that at the beginning. Like it could have been like 6 episodes.
Yeah, and I think it would have been better.
9 or whatever.
And instead of having everybody's episode like spread it throughout, and then have their little revelation episode. But I will say this: I think it's episode 5 and 6 where they're doing when they all stay there that night.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 episodes are my favorite and really good. Like, they make the show for me really.
What I also didn't really get was like, so was Peter evil? Was he not evil? Like, what made him evil? Like, like, because he's not evil, and then like he's like grabbing her, and then he's fine like the next day, and then but like I thought something's possessing him, but nothing was even possessing him. Like, I guess he just went crazy because he was in a loop and dead.
I think what happened was, yes, he was his will to like
get out.
Yeah, he was willing to do whatever he had to leave because he hated it, and he was literally reliving his hell of like his mom coming in on him and like I guess using him and stuff like. I really like his backstory. I ended up really feeling for him.
Really, I didn't love him.
Well, I didn't love him, but I like felt like, man, dude, like that poor guy, like That's about it, I guess.
No, well, so let me just say for the ending, I didn't like, so like Danny takes over her, no, Viola takes over her body and whatever, and then it takes 6 years, which is, what was it? The 6 years that, she lived for 6 more years than she should have or something like that, right? So it takes her 6 years to possess Danny's body, and then she just goes back into the lake. Like, that was literally the dumbest thing to me. Like, if anything, I thought she was gonna go start a new life or something like that, like, and live. Because that's what she wanted, was to live. No? Like, then what was the point of, like, possessing her body to just go literally back in the lake?
I feel like I think she wanted her child, is what it was. She wanted her daughter.
It was, I don't know, it was literally so stupid to me. And then, what's her name? I don't know, with the gardener, she goes back into the lake, sees her, and then just, like, does nothing. Like,
well, she's dead. I'm pretty sure she took her out. Dead? Danny was dead, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought she was just like lying in there waiting
in the lake.
Yeah, I literally didn't know she was dead. Are you sure?
How could you lie in the lake for days?
Well, it's because it's Viola now. It's not Danny, and Viola was like
dead.
I don't know.
Yeah, I did not get that. She was dead.
Oh, we should have talked about that because I did not understand that thing. Oh. Well, still, it's stupid.
Yeah, I didn't like that. And I think, like, it kind of, I don't know. So, if I were to say, like, what I feel like the message of the show is, it's moving on. Like, you need to move on. Because I feel like Viola never moved on, and then, like, she prevented other people from moving on. Hannah had a hard time moving on. Owen was moving on from his mom.
Hannah's story is, like, so sad.
Yeah, I think both their stories are so sad. And, like, because they're so good together. Also, I really like both of those actors. I have never seen them before.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I enjoy them. But, yeah. I guess that's our
review. We kind of went everywhere.
Yeah.
We'll get better at these because we never did one, actually. So.
I think the last time we did it was when we were talking about The Outsider in the first ones. We'll figure it out.
That's all we have. So, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you, guys.
Bye.